Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for Calgary. Now, I want to take you through what's happening with your real estate market. Now, the last update I did was in January. And when I did it in January, I said I was going to start to do them quarterly rather than monthly. Now, the reason for that was a lot of you that have been watching my videos for a couple years, you started to do these on your own. And that was the whole purpose of me starting this, was to show you how you can create great content, okay, for the people that are in your community. So what I'm going to do, though, going forward for the next at least 90 days, I'm going to go back to monthly. And the reason I am is because I'm standing here, it's 1st of April. We all know we got COVID-19. We're all dealing with it right now. It's going to have an impact in the real estate market. And I want to keep as relevant as I possibly can and bring you content that hopefully you can use in your life, in your business, and for your community. So let's talk about the first quarter of the year. So we look at Calgary here. You can see we did 863 in January, went up to almost 1,200 in February. And then we were down a little bit here in March. Now, why did we go down in March where normally in the spring market we'd be going up? Well, COVID-19. In the first couple weeks of March, market was very, very good. But then what happened, COVID became a very large part of our lives, and then all of a sudden the market started to slow down. Still lots of sales took place, but much less than there would have been. You can see active listings, we had around 5,000, went to 5494. And then we went up to 5782. So here's what's interesting. Your months of inventory, if you've been following me, 4 to 6 is a balanced market. Okay, so we've got 5.9 months of inventory in January. Went down to 4.6 in February. Now, in all fairness, I think without COVID-19, this would have went down further. But because of COVID-19, what happened, our inventory was rising and our sales were slightly lower, which means what happened, we went back up a little bit right here. In terms of price, really haven't moved, 451, 449, and 448. And overall, your prices have been pretty well the same in Calgary for the past 12 to 18 months. So let's look at this. Let's look at January in terms of price and sales compared to the same month the previous year. You can see here you did 804 in 2019, and we went up 863, up by 7.3%. Not a bad number, right? Year over year, price was exactly the same. Now let's look what happened in February. You can see we did 976 in 2019, and look, it went up to 1197, which was almost 23% increase. Very, very nice number. Now, what happened here, even though we did more sales, year over year, you see price was off a little bit, but that's month, okay, over month from a year ago. So that number is not really that important at this point, but what you see happening here is your inventory is starting to rise. Then we got here to March. Look what happened. We had 1329 and we went down to 1177. Obviously, first 2 weeks decent, last 2 weeks really started to slow down, and that's what caused this. We're down by 11.4%, and obviously year over year, you can see our average price was off by 2.6% as well. Here's your first quarter. If we look at the first quarter, we did 3,109 sales, okay, in the first 90 days of 2019, and we did 3,237. We were up by 4.1%. Obviously, if the last 2 weeks of March had been stronger, we would have been up by substantially more than that. So here's what I want to say. My suggestion to you right now is I think you need to be looking at the numbers on a weekly basis in your marketplace because you want to see what's going on. Now, here's the deal. There are people that are still going to buy real estate. There are people that are still going to sell real estate as we move through this, challenging time that we're all in together. Are the numbers going to be smaller? Of course they are. Do we know how this is all going to wash out or when it's going to wash out? We don't know the answer to that yet. But here's what I think is important. You need to be relevant, okay, to the people you're speaking with. Let's face it. The people in your database, they have questions about the real estate market. They are wondering what's going on. There are some people right now that have to buy. Maybe they actually sold their house and they have to find a place to go, or somebody has sold their house, right? And of course, they need to buy a house, vice versa. It works both ways. So what I'm saying is that there's going to be people out there that need your help. You've been deemed an essential service for one reason. Because there's some people that have to move, there's some people that have to sell, and there's some people that have to buy. Are they going to be less than normal? there's no question. But I think the most important thing is for you to understand the numbers and what's going on in your marketplace. So when you have a conversation and somebody brings up real estate, you can be helpful and they will perceive you as an expert in what it is you do. Now, as a company, what we're doing right now is we're trying to get as much good content to you as we possibly can. So if you're not already following us, a couple ways to do that. You can follow me on Richard Robbins Facebook. It's the official Richard Robbins account. You can go to Instagram, Richard L. Robbins, or you can go to our website, richardrobbins.com, and you can subscribe to our email list. Or we've also got a podcast, and the podcast is called The Richard Robbins Show. You can subscribe on our website. You can go to iTunes. You can go to Stitcher, all those sort of things. So we're going to continue to push out great, valuable content to help you, the real estate sales professional, as we all move through this crazy and challenging time together. At the end of the day, everybody, remember, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.